again. This is Andrea, and welcome to the first episode. The first official episode. Yay! So this week, I'm going to start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. Anyhow, what is StarCraft? Let's begin. First of all, StarCraft is known by a couple different names. StarCraft, duh. StarCraft 2, SC2, and Wings of Liberty. StarCraft is the sequel to the original StarCraft 1, which had an expansion called Brood War. Often you'll hear people referring back to Brood War, and I know I found myself having to stop and think for a second about what in the heck they're talking about. Oh yeah, StarCraft, Brood War. That's right, okay, got it. StarCraft is a competitive game, like football or tennis. We call it esports, or competitive gaming. Dat logo. It's also a spectator sport. It's a fun way to watch players who are better than you at a certain sport. It's kind of like when you watch a game of basketball, and you want to see a really good player demonstrate his mad skills on the court. Yo. Yeah, that's embarrassing. You might also try to emulate that when you go back to play yourself. Like, I used to play basketball, and I remember trying to do cool spin moves that I saw Kobe Bryant do the night before. And when in reality, I played small forward and just set a lot of screens. Yeah, so, yeah, girl can dream, right? Anywho, there are teams in StarCraft. They're like training teams that practice together, and some even live in team houses. Here's a picture I found of some members from Team Evil Geniuses. Aren't they precious? I actually want to do a whole episode on the teams and team houses in the future. I think that'd be really cool. These teams are made up of professionals who train to win tournaments, and there are prizes up to like $50,000. It's crazy stuff like that for playing video games really, really well. Awesome. Here is a picture of player MVP after winning first place in the Game Ward tournament in 2011. First prize was a super cool trophy and about $4,300 US. The game is huge in South Korea. Yay, cheers, loud noises. It's actually been referred to as the national sport. It's not actually the national sport, but there are two dedicated TV stations to broadcasting StarCraft, and it was even mentioned in Congress. It was in response to questions about how South Korea dealt with North Korea after it attacked a South Korean island. Ooh, that's convoluted. And the defense minister replied, "This isn't StarCraft." Apparently that's how the South Korean defense minister talks. Yeah. Anyhow, read an article about it. I'll post a link in the description down there. StarCraft could be played many different formats. There's single-player campaign mode, 2v2, free-for-all, but the most popular way to play StarCraft is a 1v1. That is, one player versus one other player. This is what you would see at a barcraft. The game is played like simultaneous chess. Here's a technical term for you. I should put on my nerd glasses, but I can't find them. That really sucks, because I can't see. Blind is bad. Anyhow, back to the technical term. Real-time strategy. RTS, real-time strategy. It's real-time, which means it's fast. Imagine, going back to the chess game, where you're playing a game where you don't take turns, but instead you move your chessmen around as fast as you can to beat the other player. It's also highly strategic. There are many different options in gameplay and many different ways to move your chess pieces around, but you also have to respond to how the other guy that you're playing moves his pieces around. Real-time strategy, kind of like a cracked out chess game. Crazy. So now, back to video games away from chess. In an RTS, you build bases to collect resources. The resources allow you to build more bases and army units and things like that. Your objective in an RTS is to kill your opponent's bases to win the game. Easy, right? Not so much, actually, in practice. But that's okay. We're not playing it, they are. So now, specifically in StarCraft, the things that make it special from all of the other RTSs, because aren't we all special in our own way? Something like that anyway. So each StarCraft match lasts about 5 to 30 minutes, which is great little bite-sized pieces for when you're out of StarCraft and you're drinking your favorite beer with your buddies. It's awesome. I drink many Stellas at Barcraft. Anywho, there's a bunch of different maps you can play on, so it's kind of like the board game that you play on. There's different ones, and they vary in different sizes and appearances. Here are a couple maps just to give you an idea of what they look like. StarCraft has 3 different races that you could play. These are Terran. The Terrans are a human race that are adaptive and mobile. Protoss. The Protoss are an extremely advanced technological alien race. And Zerg. The Zerg Swarm are an alien bug race that is very fast. We'll get into detail on those a lot later, because there's just so much stuff about each one that they basically need their own episode each. But each race has different playing styles and abilities. It's kind of like the X-Men. Professor Xavier isn't necessarily better than Magneto or vice versa. They just approach the battle differently and would use different techniques to achieve their goals. If that makes sense. StarCraft has a really high skill cap. That just means that there's a lot of things you can improve upon. You can easily become a perfect tic-tac-toe player because it's such a simple game, but even if you're really good at StarCraft, there's so much to do that you can almost always be doing something better, faster, smarter, or more accurately. Also, when you play StarCraft, you're multitasking like crazy. Not only are you building up your bases, but you're also scouting the other guys' bases, attacking with your armies, multiple armies, mind you, with multiple fronts, and you're also defending your own bases. Just talking about it is making me tired, and my brain hurts a little. Ugh. And finally, the part of StarCraft that I think is the coolest thing ever in a video game is the ladder system. The ladder system is Blizzard's official ranking system, and as a player, you can work your way up from the Bronze League, up, and away to the ultimate StarCraft ranking of Grandmaster. When I'm Grandmaster, I will play faster. The best part about the ladder is that it's a consistently fluid system that'll pair you up with other players that are at your level. So every game that you play should be a good, challenging game. That's so cool. You don't have to sit around waiting for somebody you know to come online, and you don't have to play with your significant other who whoops your butt in every single game ever invented. Like I do. Yeah. It's okay. Guess what? We've made it. I applaud you for making it through this video because it was a lot of kind of dry information. I really hope that after this video you have a good understanding of what the basics of StarCraft are. We talked about the name, how it's a game that you can spectate like a sport. I mentioned its popularity in Korea. We used the technical term real-time strategy. Fancy, you could impress all your friends with that one. Oh yeah. And we talked about what makes StarCraft special, like crazy multitasking and a super cool ladder system. Nice. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you join next week for episode 2. Bye! Hello again, and nope. A very good place to start. Ugh. These teams are made of professionals who do. This game is played kind of like you move your chessmen around. We'll get into detail on those in a later episode. East Reach has Ooh. Often you'll hear people hear. So the game is huge. Help me, Jim. Come on, Jim. Jim, I thought you liked. What? Jim. Jim Rainer. Look at you back there. Jim. Jim. Jim Rainer. Back where you should be. Over my right shoulder. Stay there. Okay? Okay, bye.